What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So y'all know it's Saturday. Love and Marriage Huntsville is back on. I don't have a chance to watch a lot of TV. I've been like really busy lately, but I always love to catch the show because the second half of the season, Carlos King and everybody on the show is bringing it. Speaking of everybody on the show, are the Scots still on the show? Because this is the second week that we have not seen any Scott. Not Tisha, not Marceau, not Kimmy, nor Maurice. So I don't know if, the Fletchers are coming for their spot, but they're definitely on fire. So we see Chris and Nell Fletcher with their entire family here, and they are arguing, unfortunately. Um, and it's interesting because Nell, she started out kind of asking why the kids don't, call her like they used to or come around like they used to. But then she gets really frustrated and she starts basically cussing them out. They get in an argument. And so this, episode picks up where the last one left off. And they're talking about the dog and her son Chris Jr., who's sitting beside his father. He's basically saying, well, you asked me for $3,000, I gave it to you. And she's like, well, if you want to be technical, it's 5,000. Then she gets into it with Lexi, who is her daughter, not Chris's biological. But Lexi was in her feelings. She's sitting there beside her husband. She gets in her feelings because I guess the rest of the kids had like BMWs and much better cars than she did. And she had to save up, she said, to get like a hoopty. And so, she walks outside and they get ready to leave, her and her husband, and Chris goes out and follows her. And she's like, you haven't been there for me. And she's, just kind of, expressing how she feels. And she was like, you haven't been there for me since I was like 28. And he's like, what? So it's just, a miscommunication, but he tells her to go ahead and go. But she was like, I will burn. I'm like, what in the big bad wolf is going on? No, you will not be huffing and puffing and blowing the house down, Miss Ma'am. Like, you'll be okay. So she drives off with her husband. If you're married, you got a whole husband. Listen, your parents, Chris and Nell, they are like near retirement age, and the kids are stressing them out. Okay, and speaking of stressful family members, so we have Stormi and Courtney, and they're, out on the terrace enjoying some wine, and they're talking about the business. And Stormi, you know, she's talking about, how she is going to have to talk with Tiffany, who is just really, in my opinion, acting a bit like a Karen. She's very, you know, she's always been opinionated and would stir the pot, but not from a point of being condescending like she does with Keke. And so Stormi, she's still trying to squash the beef between Tiffany and Keke. So she's going to have them meet up later, but she's talking with her husband about her cousin Junior, which, if you guys remember in previous episodes, they had to let Junior go because he was always on his phone. He was always late. He just wasn't a really good employee. So they said that they're going to rehire him and give him another chance, which is sweet. Speaking of other chances, we have we have Martell Holt entering the building, or should I say exiting the building, finally. So he is exiting Chris's house. Won't he do it? Okay, look at God. So he has his brother and, all his friends helping him move out. And he FaceTimes Chris. And Chris is basically lets him know, like, pretty much watch how you talk with my wife. And Marshall kind of shrugs it off. But see, that's the thing. Martell doesn't respect women. So until he does, I feel like those messages or those lessons are going to be lost on him. But he should listen to Chris, because I feel like if he had listened to Chris or someone like him in his corner, he would probably still be married. But, let's be grateful for small steps. So he's moved out of Chris's house and he's a squatter no more. Okay, so Melody is really excited about, her brand, and she's having her friend help her package everything. And they are talking about her possibly dating and her dating life. And she said that she's open to looking for men that are overseas. Okay. She said that, this might not be just a domestic situation. I might need an international man in my life. And I know that's right. I'm not mad at it. Okay. I don't know how that's going to necessarily work out um, with her ex-husband, the father of her 4 children, still being in Huntsville. But they're doing the custody hearing back and forth. So if she ends up winning sole custody, then who knows? Maybe the kids could be moved overseas. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep you posted though. That's really interesting. So here we have Nell. She's talking with Chris about the kids again. They're sitting in her office in her daycare center. And, he's trying to explain to her that you can't be on 10 all the time. Even though they're all adults, they're, to me, look like they're still in their 20s or possibly even 30s. Like Alexis said that, she didn't feel like her father was there for her until she was 28. So I'm guessing that she's, a little bit older than in their 20s, but still, 30-ish range. And you can tell that if they're in their like late 20s, early 30s, then their parents had them when they were considerably younger. And so now I feel like she's caught between that, being frustrated because she feels overwhelmed by a lot of things, but at the same time, still wanting her kids around. And people really won't want to be around you if you cuss them out all the time. And it doesn't matter if it is, your parents. I don't understand why parents, they think that they can just like talk to you and do you any old type of way and that you'll want to be around them. And that's not the case. So self-preservation is key. And Chris is trying to explain to her that, that she's very hot tempered. He told her that she has a hot button that would be pushed by something that the kid said. And you could tell it's learned behavior. She kind of looked, like sheepishly, but if you can learn certain behaviors, you can also unlearn them. So hopefully she has the opportunity to work on, anger management and stop going off on her children, especially if she wants to establish a relationship with them. Because for some, well, I shouldn't say for some reason, I know the reason why, right? They don't look at children as autonomous human beings. They look at them as almost property, and they feel like they could just treat them any type of way and they'll be resilient and just kind of bounce back and take it. But once someone becomes an adult, you do not want to kind of just accept disrespect from anyone, and that includes your parents. So, and speaking of disrespectful, last but not least, that is a perfect segue to the ending scene with Stormi inviting Tiffany over to, kind of squash the beef between Tiffany and Keke. And so Tiffany definitely has her baby. Because Big Lou, we haven't seen him in forever. But no, she brought Ace and to talk with Keke because she knows that Keke can, splash water in folks' face and pretty much put, 20 on 10. Like Keke can get active. And so Tiffany looks extremely scared. And with a mouth like the one that she has, I know she has her baby in her hands, but for the times that she doesn't have a baby in her hands, I hope that she can fight. Because I don't understand why you would think that you could talk to people any type of way and they're not going to have a reaction. People kill me, like they'll be like super disrespectful and then be surprised when you match that energy. Like, don't give it if you can't take it. And that's for, everyone, regardless of age, race, demographic, right? But anyway, this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I really hope that, the kids can, just have some healing with their parents. Like, I'm glad that Chris, was talking to her in a calm voice, but he cussed his daughter out when she was pulling away outside. He told her to go. He was probably hurt, because they have what, 4 kids? Yeah, they both brought one into the marriage, and then they had two while they were together. That's a lot, especially now being around kids all day, every day at a daycare center. I couldn't even imagine. So I'm sure she's probably stressed out. Maybe she could, take up yoga, or get some meditation, woosah, something. Because I know that she definitely wants a better relationship with her children. Maybe they can go into counseling. They brought that up. I feel like that would be helpful. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And I will talk to you later. Take care, Aces. Bye.